Officers confronted the Patriot Front group on Saturday. There they are on their knees and arrested. Dozens were piled in the back of a moving truck. Police say they were traveling to a Pride event where they were hoping to set off a riot.
So is anyone surprised that right-wing hate groups like these proto-fascist violent groups are targeting Pride events now? They've been whipped up into a frenzy by right-wing pundits and politicians for a couple of years now, convinced that the LGBTQ community is not only objectionable in some sort of religious or moral sense, but is perhaps the direst threat facing America and its good, pure white children. And so they're heading to these events. Thankfully, in this case, the police got a tip from a concerned citizen. So they detained and charged 31 people, part of the Patriot Front, with conspiracy to start a riot, and God only knows what would have happened at that riot. Maybe just harassment. Maybe that's what we have to hope for at this point, that this wasn't going to be assault and potentially murder at this event. But what we do know is that the ADL is tracking the growth and spread of these different hate groups. They describe Patriot Front in particular as a Texas-based white supremacist group that formed when members of another white supremacist group, Vanguard America, broke off after the Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville. Those people did not just disappear after their event, and they were not put off by the fact that one of their members murdered a woman in Heather Hair. And so they are traveling to these different events, and it's not the only one, Viviana, but that was a group of 31 people. They could have potentially done a lot of damage.
Absolutely. I mean, all tucked in the back of a truck like that, wearing those. I mean, I guess they're keeping it consistent with the white gaiters in lieu of a hood. I don't know if that's their new outfits. Anytime you see a white guy wearing khakis, you get concerned these days. But it's obviously they can, and they are intending. They're wearing tactical gear. They're not trying to like just be positive, silent protesters there and do a counter protest, which is their right if they want to sit there and stand behind some hateful stuff like rhetoric like that. But they intended to do some harm. Why are they all tucked in the back? Why didn't they just meet and gather around the flagpole? No, they got behind in a truck all together. They had plans. They're wearing matching outfits. I mean, actually, it's kind of appropriate for the Pride Parade. Maybe they were there to celebrate. They all came to commune together in their matching outfits. I don't know.
I doubt it. Yeah. And so obviously worried about, future events. I mean, if you're heading one up, you got to be worried about this.
Every time I go anywhere, John, I'm looking at exits. I'm keeping aware of my surroundings. It's sad to say, but you do need to do that, and you need to tell your children to do that. You need to be aware, no matter at your supermarket. I was at the Hollywood Bowl this weekend. They've doubled, by the way, the security staff after what happened to Chappelle.
Oh, really?
But yeah, I've never seen so many. And you got to be aware, because this is the kind of stuff that is happening these days. There's a lot of Looney Tunes out there that are getting worked up by extremist pundits and extremist radio jocks and whatnot, saying horrible things.
Well, and specifically, let's turn now to another thing that happened. They're getting worked up by some individual high-profile groups like the Libs of TikTok account, which, by the way, sent out this message talking about a drag queen story hour. They hyped this up. They sent it out to get right-wingers terrified. And what happened? That event got disrupted. A group of Proud Boys ran up shouting homophobic and transphobic slurs. They were described as having a violent demeanor because they're Proud Boys. That's what they do. That's their entire personality. Deputies had to arrive and de-escalate the situation, but a hate crime investigation is underway. So this is not just like, oh no, this happened as a result of what Libs of TikTok was doing. This is why Libs of TikTok does it. They want these hate groups, these violent, like they want to be the stormtroopers of the fascist Republican dictatorship. They're sending them to specific ones because how dare you read a story while being a drag queen? And if people die, Libs of TikTok is not gonna back off from this. This is the purpose of it. They were complaining about being doxxed by Taylor Lorenz or whatever. They're sending violent groups to drag queen story hours. That's what they're doing.
With children present, John. With children there.
They're sending violent people because that's the threat from their point of view is the story, not the white supremacists running up with billy clubs and potentially whacking a kid.
What's more fearful for children, a drag queen or somebody being violent and aggressive in a library?
We know what they think. Yeah. This is the right's political strategy, by the way. It is about demonization of the LGBTQ community. That's what they have. That's all they have. And where's the Democrats? Where's the defense against this? Not seeing it. It's literally Pride Month. Could you at least pretend for a month to care about this before a drag queen story hour gets shot up or something like that? Could we do something before the tragedy for once in American history?
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.